When you picture France, you might see the Eiffel Tower or a Parisian cafe, bustling with life and the aroma of fresh coffee in the air. These are the images that define modern France for many around the world. But beneath these familiar icons lies a much older, wilder story. One that stretches back thousands of years, hidden in the misty forests and forgotten ruins scattered across the countryside. The roots of France run deep into the forests and river valleys of ancient Gaul, a land of fierce warriors, mysterious druids, and epic resistance against invaders. Here, legends were born and destinies shaped. This isn't just history, it's the ancient code still pulsing in the French identity, woven into the national character and echoed in the pride of its people. The struggles and choices of Gaul's chieftains echo in modern France's pride and spirit, influencing everything from politics to art, and even the way the French see themselves today. Imagine standing on a hill in Burgundy, where Vercingetorix, the legendary Gallic king, made his last stand against Rome, a symbol of defiance and unity that still inspires the French imagination. Before cathedrals and revolutions, before the language of diplomacy and the art of cuisine, there was a raw, untamed spirit that refused to be extinguished by conquerors or time. To truly understand France, we must journey back to the world of the Gauls, meet their greatest heroes, and witness the birth of a nation from chaos and conflict. We'll see how Caesar's relentless conquest changed the land forever, leaving scars and stories that still linger in the French landscape, and how the rise of the Franks forged a new destiny, blending ancient traditions with new ambitions to create the foundations of modern France. This is the untold story of France's origins, a history of resistance, reinvention, and the making of a people whose spirit endures through centuries. Let's begin our journey into the heart of ancient Gaul, where the echoes of the past still shape the soul of France today. Long before the rise of Rome, the land we now call France was known as Gaul, a vast and diverse region, home to more than 60 distinct tribes. Each tribe fiercely guarded its own territory, traditions, and identity, leading to a complex web of alliances and rivalries that shaped daily life. The Gauls built impressive fortified hill forts called oppida, nestled among dense forests and winding rivers. These settlements were not only homes, but also centers of trade, defense, and community gatherings. At the heart of Gallic society stood the Druids, respected as priests, judges, and keepers of ancient wisdom. Their influence extended into every aspect of life, from law and education to spiritual rituals and diplomacy. Warriors formed the aristocracy, upholding tribal honor and defending their people, while skilled farmers and artisans provided the food, tools, and crafts that sustained daily existence. Far from being mere barbarians, the Gauls were master metal workers. They invented chainmail armor, crafted advanced farming tools, and produced weapons that were the envy of their neighbors. Their trade networks stretched across Europe, bringing in exotic goods and new ideas. The Gauls minted their own coins, created vibrant art, and developed a rich spiritual world filled with myths and legends. Yet, their greatest weakness was division. Tribes often clashed in fierce skirmishes and alliances shifted as quickly as disputes arose, making unity elusive. This constant lack of unity left them exposed and vulnerable to outside threats as enemies watched and waited for the perfect moment to strike. The Gauls possessed abundant resources, fertile fields, rich mines, and vast herds. They had the spirit and potential to become a major power, but their internal conflicts created a dangerous power vacuum. It was a weakness that a cunning Roman general would soon notice and ruthlessly exploit, changing the course of history. In the end, the fate of Gaul would be determined not by their strength or bravery, but by their inability to unite as one people. The story of Gaul was about to change forever, as a new era dawned with the coming of Rome. In 58 BC, Julius Caesar invaded Gaul seeking glory and power. He used tribal rivalries to divide and conquer, presenting himself as a protector while tightening his grip. For 8 years, Gaul was ravaged by war, millions killed or enslaved. The Gauls fought fiercely, but their resistance was fragmented. In 52 BC, Vercingetorix united the tribes in a last, desperate revolt. He waged a scorched earth campaign, even defeating Caesar at Gergovia. But at Alesia, Caesar's military genius prevailed. He besieged the Gallic army, starving them into surrender. Vercingetorix laid down his arms, and with him, the dream of an independent Gaul died. Caesar's conquest was complete, Gaul was now a Roman province. The land was changed forever, its people, its culture, its destiny. The story of France would now be written in the language of Rome, but the spirit of the Gauls would not disappear. It would be reborn in new forms. With Gaul conquered, Rome set out to transform it. Roman roads, cities, and laws reshaped the land, connecting Gaul to the empire. The old Gallic elite faded, replaced by Gallo-Roman landowners who spoke Latin and adopted Roman customs. Cities like Paris and Lyon flourished, blending Roman engineering with Gallic traditions. Latin became the language of power, but it mixed with Celtic words, eventually evolving into French. Roman gods merged with Gallic deities, creating a unique spiritual world. This fusion gave birth to a new identity, neither fully Gallic nor Roman, but something distinct. Roman rule brought peace and prosperity for some, but also heavy taxes and the suppression of Druidic traditions. The warrior spirit of the Gauls was redirected into service for Rome. Gaul was pacified and prosperous, but its ancient freedom was gone. Yet, the blend of cultures would become the foundation of a new nation. The story of France was far from over. As Rome crumbled, Gaul was left exposed to new invaders. The Franks, Germanic warriors, seized the moment, led by the ambitious Clovis. Clovis united the Franks and conquered the last Roman strongholds, becoming the most powerful ruler in the region. His greatest move was converting to Catholicism, winning the support of the Gallo-Roman elite and the Church. This alliance unified Franks and Romans under one faith, smoothing Clovis's path to power. He defeated rivals, established Paris as his capital, and laid the foundations of Francia, the land of the Franks. The nation of France was taking shape, built on a blend of Gallic, Roman, and Frankish traditions. Clovis's baptism marked the birth of a new kingdom and a new identity. The legacy of Gaul lived on, transformed but unbroken. France was no longer just a place, it was becoming a people. The next chapter of its story was about to begin. Beyond the well-known tales of kings and epic battles, ancient Gaul was a land rich with untold stories waiting to be discovered. These stories paint a vivid picture of a vibrant culture that thrived in the shadows of history. Gallic women, unlike their Roman counterparts, could wield real influence, sometimes even fighting alongside men. They participated in councils, making decisions that shaped their communities, showcasing their strength and wisdom. Druids were more than just priests. They were the intellectual backbone of society, serving as judges, scientists, and lawmakers. Their secret knowledge and rituals held society together, guiding the people through the mysteries of life and nature. The Gauls invented the barrel, a simple yet revolutionary creation that transformed trade and storage across Europe. This innovation allowed for the efficient transport of goods, enhancing commerce and connectivity. Their love of color and craftsmanship, striped trousers, patterned cloaks, set them apart from the Romans. Their clothing and jewelry were not just functional but also a statement of identity and pride. Leaders like Dumnorix, who defied Caesar and died for freedom, embodied the Gallic dream of independence. His courage and sacrifice became a symbol of resistance against oppression. These stories reveal a culture of innovation, resilience, and fierce pride. The Gauls were artisans, warriors, and community builders, each contributing to a society that valued unity and strength. The spirit of invention and individuality runs deep in French culture to this day. Modern French artisans and inventors continue the legacy of their Gallic ancestors, blending tradition with innovation. The Gauls' legacy is not just in myths, but in the everyday life and style of modern France. From bustling markets to the latest fashion, echoes of ancient Gaul can be seen in the vibrant culture of today. Their defiance, creativity, and passion still echo in the French soul. Cultural events and celebrations in France are a testament to the enduring spirit of the Gauls. The forgotten stories of Gaul are the hidden roots of a nation. These tales, etched into the landscapes and ruins, remind us of a rich heritage that continues to shape the identity of France. They remind us that history is made not just by conquerors, but by those who resist. The ordinary Gauls, standing firm against the might of Rome, teach us that true strength lies in the courage to stand for one's beliefs. The fall of Gaul and the rise of Francia shaped the DNA of modern France. The French language, born from Latin but laced with Gallic words, is a living legacy of this fusion. Roman roads, laws, and cities created the first blueprint for a unified state. The Franks built on this foundation, adopting Roman law and Catholic faith. France's identity is a blend, the Celtic spirit of the Gauls, Roman order, and Frankish ambition. This mix explains France's fierce regional pride, rebellious streak, and centralized state. Paris, once a Gallic oppidum, became the heart of the nation. The boundaries of old tribes still echo in French provinces. Understanding this history reveals the layers of French identity, between unity and diversity, tradition and change. The story of France is the story of transformation. France's journey from ancient Gaul to modern nation is a story of resilience and reinvention. The Gauls weren't erased, they blended with Rome, then with the Franks, forging something new. This pattern of absorbing and transforming outsiders is a hallmark of French history. Vercingetorix's failed unity and Clovis's successful alliance taught lessons about identity and strength. Today, as France faces new challenges, its ancient story feels more relevant than ever. Identity is not about purity, but about evolving and adapting. The French flag represents centuries of creative fusion. The spirit of the Gauls, the logic of Rome, and the ambition of the Franks all live on in France. The past is not dead. It shapes the present, reminding us that our roots run deeper than we think. The story of France is a story of becoming, a lesson for us all.